So, obviously, this is the first time a lot of us have encountered each other, but in England and beyond, to the places foolish enough to invite me, I have a reputation for doing strange performances. But, feeling the atmosphere of the room and seeing the other wonderful, elegant, gentle performances, I thought I would just do a reading. Keep it neat, and keep it careful and respectful to the poetic tradition of Ireland. So, I'm just going to read a poem. That's really, that's very painful. It's you again. Do you have a problem with me doing a reading? No, I don't mind you doing a reading. It's just that your poems are bad. You are not even literate, so I still know what good poems are. You should do a funny performance, I think. People like them. Well, I'm not a stand-up comic, I'm a poet, you know. I like to be taken seriously. Yet no, the reason why people like your performances and they don't buy your books is because you're definitely funnier than you are good at poems. Oh, thanks so much. Have you thought about maybe doing like a rap, but with no music, and then calling that a poem? Because people really like that. I don't think I could pull that off. Have you thought about maybe like doing like a teenage diary, and then putting that in line breaks? You sell lots of books if you do that. It's not really my thing. Why can't you just be supportive? Because I have emotional problems, and I have to cover up my inability to deal with my own self-hurt by being righteous. Is that okay if I just read the poem? Fine, but nobody will listen. About 2 or 3 minutes in, they'll start to think of their shopping or something else that comes into their mind, because the human brain can't listen to read language outside of narrative for more than a few minutes, even though nobody says this. Thanks, Bab, anyway. How like Maya Yantar to bring nobility back, leaning, forcing dignity back into the act of screaming at you. How like Fabian Fulton to banquet, to make thorough masculinity as important too. How like Wilbur Valerie Björka Torset to awake a night goat on fire who hits plastic cups with old men and destroys oranges. How like Hans Smith to pigeon queen with feral one-legged rubber message. How like Léonce Lupette to soul giant with a head of hair made of drinking blood. How like Ida Buchiel to ask me to choke her on stage without any warning whatsoever. How like Olga Stelikova to have eyes alive all times and love audio video with winky paws. How like Inga Bazan to make every other ape like me while giving me chocolate truffles, thanks Inga. How like Pierre Alferi to picture boxes and speak them cleverly. How like Simone Lapierre aqualining eagles into pantsuits and then reappearing. How like Morten Langeland to be a bastard who misses international flights. How like Iris Colomb sucking ice cubes between mouths, officially yellowing not little. How like Andras Gerovich corresponding to old cities, cutting off presents in poems. How like Karen Sandu making the ball small slivers of water as always good for walls and alive. How like Lola Nieto taking Sonder's ears off in a bunker and teeth in there, all chicked up noises. How like Esteban Cruz hunching sound boxes with the best English, being way too hot for Norwich. How like Michelle Steinbeck being good in restaurants, ghosting monster smiles otherwise. How like Yekta to circumnavigate the disappearing into dramatic red cape shudders vampire. How like Michael Fair to make snakes nice? How like Simona Nastak writing t-shirts of poems and being well sick doing it? How like Maria Malinovskaya to be what Russians should inspire and freak people with small love? How like Avery Lilly to ocean out an island and wrap the hot dogs sweet? How like Patrick Savalainen to choose red pill, blue pill, dog pill, glue pill? How like Cosmin Perter to friendly up the werewolves in London? How like Christianis Zelgis to wash my hair on Kingsland Road and have his feet kissed? How like Astra Papa Christodoulos to ask me to choke her on stage with plenty of warning whatsoever? How like Moana Stanojevic to linger before a street in a good way that binds? How like Tatiana Fire to force her mum into poems? How like Daniele Pantano to fight snakes that, hey, haven't seen you for ages? How like Tibor Hirsch-Pandeur to Vietnam and not flashbacks? How like Harry Mann to eat everyone else's food they had been saving in the fridge? How like Andreas Stepech to scare dogs because cat, oh my god, the cat can talk? How like Dovidas Laurinaitis to lunge? How like Amadej Kraljevic to balloon knot and be better than you because he's taller than you? How like Jon Sturla Ritland to be an actual doctor? How like Vanu Bianconi familying a reading and saying goodbye in daughter code? How like Lena Bobby David-Tutor to pink rope Lupa Libre Max? How like Frank Roof to laugh like a mad one while multitasking knowledge? How like Matura to roll deep solid notes of blue travel when talking? How like Katerina Kuluri to pop in making curls of stone, first one in Greek, apologies or not? How like Anna Seferovic to be the only poet who mentions Brexit? How like Iga Shishtampanska declaring womanhood and waiting for pickups? How like Keddy Chukrov surprising uprising like Claire Blanchett in a storm? How like Konstantinos Papacharalampos to glue tack a sturt and spill it enthused like a Pritt stick? How like John Mattia to emerge from lakes and even then calm like private military? How like Cardi Coco to robot pens on a perfect mirror? How like Serena Breda to elegance the Appian way everywhere she is and share graceful? How like Damir Shodan to read translations of a hippie Native American Buddhist priest poet even though he's a really good poet himself? How like Katerina Maria Kalinowski to be nowhere going into water drinking into global anesthesia but to miss the sea? How like Sophie Carolyn Wagner looking and sounding good for any age, being Vienna walking, the Soph mashing everything up into one? How like Under Lucet mythologizing and bodyizing Sammy deer monsters haunting northern forests with love and maybe death if you like? How like Moana Sanziana Marianne to goose poems about sex and death and say, those were Romanian words? How like Christodoulos Makris to be a French letterer, power blurber, and a constant gardener for the good? How like S.J. Fowler to be a do-good?